Well, hello there, chums, as I, Captain Steve, and yes, just to start off with, I'm just going to cover off my thoughts and feelings on the State of Play video the other day. If I had to rate it out of a 10, I'd give it a 3.5. There wasn't much in there that actually grabbed me. In fact, there was only one title, and that was Hood. That looked kind of interesting, but it's not going to be out on launch. It's way off into frickin' yonder. And the rest of the games, some of them look like mobile games. I have to be honest. There was nothing there that really grabbed me, chums. Nothing at all. So yeah, I don't think there's anything that's going to be selling the PlayStation 5 with inside that lineup, but I guess the State of Play is there for PS4 as well. But for me, I'd say that was State of Frickin' Decay, because it really was poor. It was dire. And the positive news is customizable PlayStation 5s. Heck yes, it looks like these frickin' side panels come off and you can use them as wings and float through the frickin' streets. No, don't try that at home, people, but could be an alternative. No, the thing is these are customizable, I guess, so it might be that some games might release side panels for your PlayStation so you can make them look pretty gnarly. But look at this thing with the side panels off. It looks like a freaking TV box or a router or something. I mean, it looks like a router with them on, to be fair, doesn't it? But the nice thing is you can customize your PS5, and we might see some nice customizable wings or some sort of wraps or vinyl or something. But yeah, it looks interesting. Think back to the old Nokia 3310 days. Yeah, it had a certain sort of appeal for a certain type of people. I would love to wrap mine in one of the games I'm playing. I will be getting Cyberpunk 2077. That'll look nice as a wrap for the case. Or if they do one for No Man's Sky, I mean, it's fairly unlikely unless we get a port. But No Man's Sky is my all-time favourite game. I mean, I'm wearing some merch right now. This is from Geeks Actively Making Entertainment. Awesome channel, check them out. If you like my EXO stuff, you're going to love this. They do loads of voice acting there. Awesome. And now on to games. So the confirmed games list. I know we looked at I talked about the State of Play at the start, but there's a lot more games other than what was featured in the State of Play. Thinking back to the PlayStation announcement trailers and other trailers that we've had from IGN and other sources around the net, there are some interesting titles out there. Doom Eternal. I love the original Doom. Do I like the new Dooms? Not so much. I kind of wish they would do a new Quake, to be honest, or a new Unreal Tournament. I like those more than Doom, to be honest. Elder Scrolls Online. I liked Skyrim to a degree, but it was lacking multiplayer. Elder Scrolls, maybe that might do it for me, I don't know. Valhalla, I'm definitely getting that. Someone's already purchased it for me and asked me to do a review, so I'm probably going to do a review on PS4 and PS5. You get Astro Bot free with the console, so yeah, I may even delve into that, maybe do a quick review of that. Battlefield 6 doesn't appeal to me. I don't really like real worldy type games, not of today's world. I'd rather play like Modern Warfare or Future Warfare or something, you know. This game, Bug Snacks, I haven't got anything decent to say about that. My mum told me if you've got nothing decent to say, don't say nothing. So I'm not going to say nothing on that one. Chivalry II. This looks good. This looks like it could be freaking fun. Chorus is coming on all platforms. It looks kind of okay. It looks a little bit like Galaxy on Fire, the mobile phone game, if I'm brutally honest. But I do like space combat games. I will watch that one, but I'm not overly interested. Control, not overly into it. If I had to choose a game like Control, I'd probably go for more the Watch Dogs sort of thing. Special abilities, though, it looks kind of nice. Crisis Tales, not really for me. Not really into that. Cyberpunk 2077, I've already pre-ordered that. That's definitely come into my channel, and I just hope it's as good as what I think it's going to be. Deathloop, it's like Groundhog Day with guns. Do I like that? No, not overly. So I'll probably be giving that one a skip. Demon Souls is too freaking hard for me, I'm not going to lie. I'm not the best gamer in the world, even though I do a gaming site. I think people tune in to watch me die. So yeah, I won't be getting that. Destiny 2 I've already got. I've already put a lot of hours into Destiny 2. And although I said I'm a little bit of a rubbish gamer, I'm actually quite good at that one. So yeah, a Destruction All-Stars. If it's anything like Destruction Derby, I might give it a look. I might give that a play. Depends on, I mean, there's not much to go by on that. Dirt 5, rally game, kind of, no. Actually, Dustborn, I haven't really looked into it, and I'm probably not going to, it doesn't appeal. Dying Light, no thank you. Far Cry 6, I used to love the previous Far Cries with the level editors. That could be on my list if it's got a level editor. I'm not into sports games, so FIFA. I'm not into Fortnite, Scrolly. Ghostwire Tokyo looks like an original idea, but it looks like one that would confuse the hell out of me, but I do like the paranormal. Godfall, I loved the actual reveal trailer for this. It looked freaking amazing. But if you watch the State of Play, oh my god, the actual gameplay looks terrible. One combo per person. Gods and Monsters has changed title apparently. It's not going to be called Gods and Monsters anymore. That was on my watch list, but again, it got leaked on Stadia and people were playing it, and it doesn't play all that well. But it's early access. A lot of these others that I'm skipping through right now just don't have no interest to me at all, like Gothic and all that lot. Gran Turismo 7 though, PS5 exclusive. If it's got a VR mode like the previous rendition, I would definitely be jumping on that. Grand Theft Auto, again, it's real weldy, so it doesn't appeal to me, but I imagine that's going to set a few people's pants on fire because they love it. Haven, it looks nice. I like the shell-shaded look, but it looks a little bit too linear. This game, Heavenly Bodies, it's got anti-gravity. If it was VR, maybe, but Hitman has got a VR mode, and that VR mode looks quite good. You can strangle people in the loo. Horizon, so Horizon 2. I wasn't a massive fan of Horizon 1, so I don't know whether I'd be picking that up. Jet the Far Shore, that looks appealing. That looks very interesting, and it looks quite close to the No Man's Sky type line. If anything in this lineup is No Man's Sky looking, it's probably that. The other that game we just went past, Keno, not so much. Little Devil Inside though, that grabs me. That looks something. That looks special. Madden sports game. Marvel Avengers, I may pick that up because I love Marvel. I love DC. I love all superhero type stuff. It depends on how linear it is or how open world it is. If it's open worldy, maybe. If you get to create your own character, maybe. But I think it's just going to be Avengers, isn't it? Really, it says it on the frickin' tin. A lot of these other games I'm scrolling past for the same reason why I scroll past others is because they don't really overly appeal. Oddworld, I used to like the humour in the first one, but I was sucked at it. Outriders looks very interesting, and that one, that could be a replacement for Godfall, because I was set on Godfall until I saw that state of play the other day, and now I've gone right off of it. Paradise Lost, no, not really for me. Planet Coaster, I think is quite a chilled sort of experience, and I think I might be inclined to pick that one up. It would be cool if it does have some sort of VR mode to let you ride the coasters. Pragmata by Capcom looks interesting, but it looks bizarre. It looks a little bit weird to me. You know that game where you're running around with a baby in a frickin' jar? It's kind of reminiscent of that. Project Athia looked fantastic. The only thing I've got a problem with is I'm Captain Steve, and running around as a female character doesn't always work for Captain Stevie type, and I don't think it's going to work for that. Ratchet and Clank is just there really to show off the new SSD and loading times, really. I wasn't a fan of other Ratchet and Clank, so I don't think I would be of that. And I'm scrolling past a lot of these because they're either horror or they don't look next gen, in my opinion. Returned is very much like that other game where you're sort of stuck in a loop, death loop, whatever it was. Sackboy, I didn't really like the first, like Little Big Planet, so I won't be picking that up. This one, anime style, looks nice, but will I play it? Probably not. Sherlock Holmes, problem solving frustrates the hell out of me. Solar Ash looks kind of interesting. I might take a better look at it at a later date, but it kind of looks like one of those games that's going to be sort of under the radar, so we'll see how that goes. Stray piques my interest massively for various reasons, which I get to in a bit. So yeah, I love the robots and stuff in there. But anyway, Lord of the Rings Gollum, not so much. I'd probably give that one a wide berth. I liked the Lord of the Rings, but I didn't like the Hobbit much. I didn't really like Gollum much as a character. Bloodlines, Vampire the Masquerade. I used to play the old dice rolling game. Quite like it, but I don't know whether I pick it up. Warframe, it's good that that's coming over because people have plowed a lot of hours into it. I probably won't be playing it. Watch Dogs, I like the fact that they've rendered all of London. It looks quite nice, but I probably won't be playing that either because it's not my type of game. Worms, no. I used to play it on the old Amiga and make my own levels. It was great, and you could put your own sound clips in. I used to have fun with that. There's a lot of rumoured titles as well, but there's going to be a lot of games that should be available to play, like on, they might get migrated over and hopefully take advantage of some of the new graphics potential. And I'm hoping No Man's Sky is one of those such games. But there you go, that's my feelings on the launch titles. Now I'm going to look at some of the other titles in more detail. Okay, so I like sort of games that are sort of open worldy, co-op play, so not a lot of PvP. I like games like Monster Hunter. I like games like No Man's Sky. Games where you get to build your own character, get armor, get awesome weapons, show off what you've managed to get to your friends, all the loot that you got. Or if you can make a base, show that off or whatever. So I like those sort of games. I even liked Destiny, kind of, but then after a week everybody's running around in the same armor. So yeah, I like those sort of games. Now there's only a few games, not even a few, there's a couple of games coming out that spike my interest, so I'll give you a bit of a rundown on those. Okay, right, so this first game is called Chivalry II. Now, I haven't seen Chivalry 1 hit console. It could have just passed me by, but it could just be that it's been PC up to now. Now, this game looks freaking awesome, but what I would say, it's also coming to PS4, Xbox, so some of the textures that you see, especially on the ground, look a little bit shite, but that could just be because of the amount of people and the amount of detail in the actual models of the characters as to why those textures are quite low, but this just looks like fun. It looks like sheer carnage and fun. I mean, I used to play, well, I played Gorn on VR for the similar sort of reason. It was just freaking mindless fun. And this looks kind of like that, but it does look like it's going to have a lot of skill and tact and opportunities for funny moments to be had. Even if I got killed in this, I think it would be freaking hilarious. So yeah, there you go. Have a giant arrow, you. Ha-ha! And there you go, a flaming ball for yourself. Yeah, I'm going to ram your doors in. You know, that sort of stuff, I think I could do quite well. I think people would tune in for this, and I think I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, it looks like it's fun, and yeah, gory, a little bit of a stress reliever, and I think it's going to have some awesome, hilarious type moments. I mean, look at that, he just drop kicked that other guy. This could be so much fun. So yeah, that's one that I think I could get on board with. So next up, this one's a little bit more serious. So this one here, this looks freaking beautiful. I mean, it's by Square Enix, and it's called Outriders. Now, there's not too much gameplay footage that's shown here, but the worlds look freaking immersive and beautiful. And I would say this almost looks a little bit like Destiny, because you've got powers, like magic. And you've also got freaking awesome weapons. I mean, check out some of the weapons in this trailer and some of the armor, the way it lights up and stuff. It looks fantastic. Now, if it does take advantage of all the ray tracing, reflections, things like that, this game could be something special. Now, I do love Destiny 2, like I mentioned before. That I'm likening this to Destiny, because so far a lot of this does look like Destiny. You get to make your own character by the looks of things, build your own sort of personality. It looks like there's ground vehicles and special abilities. This looks like it could be something awesome. So this is now my replacement for Godfall, like I was saying earlier in the big list of the games, and it does look like it could be a contender for something to play quite often. Yeah, so I like this a lot. Now, I am also getting Cyberpunk 2077, which is like more of a one-playery type game. They haven't mentioned that you can hook up with people online, but that would be quite cool. The abilities in this is like you just froze somebody there and then ran into them and smashed them. I've seen they've actually put that in the latest version of Destiny, so I don't know who's nicking ideas from who, but I like the monsters in this. I like the actual environments. I like the weapons. I like the abilities. So far, there's nothing that I've seen in this trailer that I don't actually like. Beards. I like the beards. Heck yes. And it looks like you can sport a few different beards. I know that's something small, but it does look freaking ace, doesn't it? I mean, look at some of the lighting effects and the visuals. It does look awesome, and the bad guys look like proper bad guys. I mean, look at that, that's the stuff of nightmares. But I so want to play this. That ground smash as well is very Destiny, isn't it? That's very sort of like the Titan in Destiny, but there's a lot more blood in this. This looks like it's aimed for adults, and it does look like it's gonna be freaking awesome fun. So that's my two games that are sort of open worldy, create a character, showy off a bit. Yeah. But I do like my one-player driven games as long as they've got a decent story that grabs me and holds my attention. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, it looked like it ticked all those boxes for me, but I didn't feel anything for the characters in it. I honestly didn't. Even the main character, I just didn't feel that connection with her. I tried, I just couldn't. But these next games look like they could appeal and could tick some of those boxes. I haven't put the next Horizon Zero Dawn in this next list for the reason I didn't like the first one. So, but then I could be wrong. It might have more draw. We will see when the time comes. But here you go. Here's some of my other games I've got my eye on. Excellent. So first up is Stray. Now in this game, when I first saw the trailer, I thought I'd be playing as some sort of robot or android that I've played, but no, You play as a stray alley cat. Yes, not a human. Humans are all dead. This looks like it's... Look, RIP humans. It says that on the frickin' wall. And the robots in this, if you've come across Cosmo, the little AI robot you can buy, he's actually really cool. If you get a chance to take a look at Cosmo, the AI robot, he is so cute. I used to have one. But he's been replaced now by Vector, which is another robot. Anyway, I digress. I'm going off on a tangent. But yeah, their faces look very much like Vector or Cosmo. Anyway, the game looks really, really cool. I'm loving this. It's got that cyberpunk sort of vibe to it. I'm loving all the neon lighting. I'm liking the robots and stuff, but how are you going to communicate with them as a cat is... I don't know. I mean, you've got a little backpack as a cat as well. I mean, what does that do? It just intrigues me on so many different levels. It's one that I'm going to watch, but it's probably not one I'm going to purchase until I see some actual proper gameplay, because all this looks like CGI. But being a cat, it could be quite multi-level like you see in here. It spikes my interest because it's sci-fi, cyberpunk-esque, and it just looks different. I want different. We've got games that have been done to death. I mean, we're on Gran Turismo 5 or whatever, or Grand Theft Auto 10, or it's been done, but that looks different. Now this one is called Little Devil Inside, and it looks like an amalgamation of some of my favourite games. It looks like it's got some awesome humour in here, and it looks like it's got a very sort of Zelda-esque type feel to it in the way of combat, but also climbing on the bad guys almost looks reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus. It looks like it's going to be a game that's immersive as well as very explorative, so you can go exploring the world. It looks quite awesome as well because you get mounts, so there's one bit where he's riding a donkey or a wild boar or something. But yeah, it just looks like it's going to be frickin' epic, and I love the graphical style. It looks very much in keeping with No Man's Sky in the cel-shaded world, or that of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it just looks pretty damn impressive and very different. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of humour in this game as well. I mean, I don't understand the little cutscenes where you see some guy sitting on a toilet taking a dump. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to know. Yeah. I don't really want to know what this dump looked like. I mean, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it just looks very sort of different. Now, I have seen some gameplay of this, though, where he's in the Arctic areas. And there was bits where it just looked a little bit empty, dead and dull. But at the same time, I could fill those spaces with me chatting bollocks. So yeah, it could be a game for me. It might not appeal to all of you, but it definitely appeals to myself. And again, it looks different. A little bit like Stray. This looks like it could be one of those games that slips under the radar but is actually a gem and becomes a cult classic. And I quite like that. I could be the only person streaming this game. But yeah, it might grow on people. It looks charming, doesn't it? It looks very artistic, and it looks frickin' fresh. It looks like it's something new. Oh, that dragon is frickin' epic. Anyway, Little Devil Inside, I'm watching that one. That one is one on my watch list, very high up on my watch list. And this next game, I've mentioned that No Man's Sky is my favourite game of all time, pretty much, and it's pretty much what my channel is dedicated to. But this looks kind of in keeping with No Man's Sky in a roundabout way. I mean, right now it doesn't. Right now it looks like I'm in a leprosy town. But no, it looks like you get in a ship and take off, and you're searching for a new home world. Or that's what I think it is. It's freaking hard to tell, to be fair. I mean, yeah. But there's bits where they fly off into space, and then it looks like they're sending down some sort of pods to look at different planets for different reasons. Is it what I muster or gather or think is happening? I'm making a lot of freaking assumptions because there's not a lot to go by. I mean, it says carve out a future for your people, haunted by oblivion, propelled by dreams. So it looks like they're dreaming of a new planet. Hopefully they're not going to get killed by oblivion, whatever this oblivion is. But anyway, it's spiked my interest. It looks different. I like games that are very sort of indie, different, yeah, and story driven. This looks like it could have all of those elements, just like the previous two titles that I pointed out. And what's more, all three of these titles look fantastic. They look like they're taking advantage of some of the next gen graphics, and what I like about this one is it actually says holiday of 2020. So I'm hoping this one is going to be a launch title. I mean, I've got Cyberpunk as well to play on launch, so yeah, hopefully I'd at least have these 2 games running on my channel, I'd imagine. And I'm hoping No Man's Sky is going to get backwards compatibility, and I'll be able to take that over and see if it gets all the ray tracing, SSD load times and things. So yeah, this one looks amazing. I mean, look at the size of those waves and things, your tiny little ship, that big freaking waves. So hopefully alien planets, and it's going to have some sort of, almost a sort of, I hope, a No Man's Sky feel to it, but with a different graphical style there. So I love that. Right, so yeah, I gave you my synopsis at the start of the state of play, and I gave it a 3.5. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the state of play. I mean, I would like to see more, but I would like to see more of PlayStation 5 and what the future brings for PlayStation. I know that they're bringing up the Sony sort of interactive studio or something, their own studio, which would be nice to see more titles or exclusive titles. But yeah, your thoughts below in the comments would be much appreciated, and also your thoughts and feelings on those games that I wish to cover on my channel would be nice as well. I might go on my communities tab and put up a little poll to see which out of those 5 titles you're most eager to see on my channel. Take care! There's multiple ways to support my channel, Patreon being one. Thank you, Patreons. And I also have YouTube membership. Thank you, YouTube memberships. Yep, there's multiple tiers there for everyone. Be sure to check both out if you're thinking of supporting me that way. Hitting a like or a subscribe or leaving a comment. I love reading comments. Is another way to support the channel. Or there's merch if you want to find a dandy pair of socks or a t-shirt. Head on over to Teespring. Or just stay with Captain Steve a little bit longer and watch a little more. Hit join or sub. Heck yes. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio.